RMS is a complex business in some sense, but really I think when you boil it down to the nitty-gritty, we help our clients to make better decisions with better measurement. I think we firmly believe that better measurement leads to better business. So, from our name, Remote Metering Solutions, you can see that I think the business is built on the basis of remote metering, gathering data from anywhere in the country, any building, and then converting that data into useful information. The usefulness of the information is increasing substantially in the last few years. Traditionally, we've used the information to literally build tenants on behalf of our clients, the landlords. So I guess it's fair to say the usefulness was mostly financial. Now the usefulness has expanded into energy efficiency, which has always been there. I mean, energy efficiency isn't something new, but as a measure of reducing operating cost in a building, it's becoming more and more important. And then finally, I want to say disclosure, environmental or sustainability disclosure is very much front of mind for most of our clients now. And all three of those aspects, the financial management or the utility management, the energy management and in disclosure, all depend on the quality of the data that we collect from the various types of technologies that we deploy in our clients' buildings. Breadth and the scope of the conference itself are really exceptional, and we hope to attend a lot of the sessions. But the main reason why we are here is for this exhibition floor. There are so many new technologies that we can really, we can get access to. We can touch bases with our main suppliers, and it's really part of, I guess, our DNA, which is about metering and metering technologies. And don't want to just call it metering. It's all about the system that includes metering, the communication infrastructure, and then the processing of the data to convert that data, I guess, into useful information. I think the most important thing is that we are completely technology agnostic. And this is just a necessity in the market that we operate in. We have so many different clients and they all support various technologies. And over time, buildings exchange hands as well. One building would be sold to another property group. So there isn't a single technology that you can sort of bank on. So over the years, and I mean, we've been doing this for more than 20 years, we've developed the capabilities to utilize any data from any metering technology. We consolidate everything on our side. So, from a client's perspective, it doesn't matter which meters he has in his buildings. In fact, in many cases, we'll have more than one technology in a single building. But we collect the data, consolidate it, and then, I keep on saying it, convert it into useful information. Big movement, I guess, in South Africa is this diversification of energy sources. In the good old days, we only had grid electricity, and thanks to Eskom, I guess, most buildings now have generators as well, solar as well. So our role is really to help, let's say, consolidate these fragmented energy sources into, firstly, from a billing perspective, to bill tenants and to account for the use of this energy. Every energy source comes with a different cost. So from that perspective, I think we protect the income statement of our clients by accounting for that energy consumption correctly and for the cost. And every energy source also has its own environmental cost, if you want. Solar obviously has very low, almost zero carbon emissions, not the same for generators and for grid electricity. So that level of accounting, that level of transaction is also what we do, which then speaks to the disclosure of the environmental performance of a business. And if you extrapolate that, it goes into your ESG ratings, which ultimately then can lead to access to cheaper or less costly debt, which really is the lifeblood of a lot of our clients. It is very, very complex. It might sound relatively simple to account for, let's say, the generator consumption or fuel consumption. And yes, at the level of the generator, it might be simple, but then to sort of understand how that is accounted for at a tenant level becomes much more complex. It's as if you are adding another transactional line to how you account for that energy. And it's not just, these assets that are in buildings, solar PV plants, generators, battery storage systems. They are costly assets and they have to be managed as well. And the meter data can also provide some insights into the, call it the operational health of these assets. We also have become quite involved in helping clients with water security. We can help clients with, call it on-site water treatment and wastewater treatment plants. That's an end-to-end process, from the initial scoping to the construction and in the operation of that plant. Looking at the future, and listening to what was said in the keynote address, I would be hesitant to make a prediction about the future because of the complexity. What is certain is that the future will be vastly different from what we can imagine now. And again, coming back to measuring the right things, I think helping to cope with and manage this complexity and make informed decisions all depends on the quality of the data that you have at hand. And we see our role as really enabling that with the right technologies and thereby sort of enabling and supporting our clients.